Hello, welcome. Come one, come all. It's Parquet here again with another Gran Turismo 7 video. It's a midweek check-in we're doing this week. Today's Thursday, time of recording. This week has been a brutal one on, especially for Gran Turismo standards. The brutalism levels always rise with the Death Chicane making an appearance, and we're going to see how it's going for me. Let me know how it's going for you down in the comments. Like I said, this is a midweek check-in. This is a safe space. Have you been winning your races? Have you been losing your races? Has the Death Chicane killed you? I want to know all of that, so let me know in the comments below. Taking a look here at my first race of the session. I'm using the V8 Vantage, or the Group 4 Vantage Aston Martin. I don't know the exact, name of the car or anything, but it was something off meta. Made it through the Death Chicane with no deaths to report my first time going through it, so that's always good. And Dragon's Trail Seesaw always is a mixed bag for me, right? Like, the racing is really close, as you can see with these first couple of clips here. I'm trying to pull off a move up the inside on the Brazilian, making it stick there. Had to do it to him. But that chicane just is such a crucial part of the track that, it all really comes down to that. If you don't get that correctly, you're kind of cooked. It's a pretty technical section, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. You can see here the second time of asking is when everything really kicked off. You can see here it looks like a Saving Private Ryan outro. Smoke grenades, there's ghosts. It's a real true horror movie scene happening there. You can pull off a quadruple overtake and everybody dies, but also the bell will ring for you, or I guess for me, as it run right there. So that was the end of this race one right here. Nothing really too exciting to report other than that big crash there. Now let's take a look at the infamous corner everybody loves to hate, the aforementioned Death Chicane. That little 1-2 right there is really tricky to get through. The best people in the world can do this flat out. You see me lifting completely because I'm nowhere close to one of the best in the world and hitting the wall. After that session, we get a nice little surprise. MK Nervy, my fellow streamer, we're sharing a lobby here with race 2. We're going to try to both not die, navigating our favorite chicane again. So let's see how this goes. Starting in P13, coming into T1 here, everything already kicking off. You can see up there ahead, somebody's already going ghost. And it's our boy Nervy, actually. Our boy Nervy already going ghost into T1. That happens a lot here. I guess it's technically T2. At this point in the race, I'm just trying to settle in. We see somebody else going off into the side there, another American, and now we have a battle heating up in front of us between Z-Nick and Hugofa. I wonder if I got that right. Nick right hands down him a little bit there. May have been a netcode issue, not sure, but at this moment, I'm just trying to stay out of this as much as possible. I see a little bit of a gap form and lose control myself, and this is where it all falls down. It wasn't even the Death Chicane that killed everybody. It was me. So let me explain. One, terrible driving, just awful, disgusting, horrific, I would even say. I tried to lift off and give him the position back, but I did that on the racing line, and rule number 1 of racing, no slow cars on the racing line, and that's exactly why. So I learned that lesson the hard way. Coming in through lap 3, finding myself right back behind Nick. We both survived the Death Chicane this time, so lap 4 should be something very, very tasty. Coming down the start-finish straight, I'm able to soak up some of that slipstream, get side to side, and we're going to go for, a hot battle for P13. See how this ends up. Coming into turn 1, pretty comfortably in the position at this point. Just wanted to hit the apexes. Everything pretty smooth and good to go through there. Seems like Nick got a little bit better exit. I'm definitely doing the passive aggressive defense. I'm not really fully to the right or fully to the left here. This is probably my weakest turn on the track, other than the Death Chicane, of course, but in terms of just performance, I always lose a lot of time. You saw the Brazilian earlier getting a move done on me there. It was Nick this time, going up the inside through this little middle, I'll call it sector 2 here. It's really the optimum racing line. I lost that. So it all comes down to sector 3, how we're going to go through the Death Chicane. Getting a little bit more slipstream here, coming into Cruise Corner, as Tidge and his lady call it. Cruise Corner, everybody. That's what we're naming this one. And now you can see, if you look at the radar at the bottom, we actually have a 3-horse race. And it seems like 2 of the horses were a little bit wiser than I. Of course, I thought I could be lead dog, and that happened. So, ended up selling there. P13 and P14 drive away from me. I'm P off the screen again, which, you know, you never want to be when you're racing. And you can see that guy in the back there just trying to be as good of a sportsman as he can be. Hopping on to race 3 here, I took a little bit of time to get my qualifying time a bit better, so starting a bit further up the grid this time in P5. That's always, you know, a good key to try to do if you want to try to stay out the way if you can. And you can see there already somebody again through that T1/T2 going left into a right-hander, and also backwards on a track where we're going forwards, and neither one of those are good. Just like that move, which also was not good. So all that qualifying went immediately out the window for me and our friend. And I found myself back down in P7, P8, P9, P10, P11, P11, 12, 13, P13. I found myself P13, P12 after we do this little jump cut right there. But yeah, you could just see, just like that. That's all it really takes to ruin your race. But we march on. Lap 2. I'm in P10 at this point. The good thing about this track is that, as you just saw on that last turn, it doesn't take a lot to lose a lot of positions, but also doesn't take a lot to gain a lot of positions. And hopefully we'll be able to do the latter later on in this race. But before we do that, we gotta nail this final turn and see if we can get a good exit down the finish straight. Turns to a 3-horse race right here. The American Indian to the right, Protector Atlas, the Brazilian, ahead of me. And now this is the stuff the trailer's made of, right? Going 3 wide into turn 1. We're gonna see who's the latest on the brakes. I'm trying to pick out a line here. We all make it through pretty as respectfully as you can expect in a B lobby. This is a BS lobby, mind you. The BS lobbies are kind of BS, pun intended. And yeah, the Indian's able to take control of the 7th place through there. That control would not last forever, as through the Death Chicane I nail it on this one here. And like I said earlier, it doesn't take a lot to lose, but it doesn't take a lot to gain either. A little smooth triple overtake through the field on lap 3. So I'm back where I started, back in 5th place. All I have to do here on lap 4 is not die, and victory. We did it. I didn't die through the Death Chicane. I conquered it, if you will, you know. Able to finish where I started, which, you know, if you can't finish first, the next best thing you can do is finish where you started in racing, so that's always good. And yeah, that's gonna be the last, race we look at on this video. I appreciate you sticking around at this point. Again, this is a midweek check-in, so let me know how Dragon Trail Seaside is going for you if you're racing it, and if you're not, appreciate you for watching. But I'll catch you next time. Peace.